Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Sexy Thyroid Solution. I'm your host, Angela Brown. So today I want to talk about why TSH marker being normal doesn't necessarily mean that your thyroid is normal. And I see this all the time. So first, if you could do me a really big favor, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel and then hit that little bell so that you get a notification every single Thursday when I release my new video. And if you're watching this on Facebook or on Instagram, do me a big favor and like this, share this, maybe tag someone who could benefit from this information. That would help me as well. So let's go ahead and get started here. So TSH is something that I see commonly that is checked for thyroid function. And although I do think it is a necessary marker to have checked, unfortunately, I see this checked a lot in people and they don't check anything else with the thyroid. So when TSH gets checked and there's nothing else being checked and you're told it's high, a lot of times you end up getting referred to endocrinologists. It's really common for me to see this. And unfortunately, what happens then a lot of times is, again, they just recheck the TSH. Every once in a while, they'll throw some other markers in, but it's not very common. It's really hard to get the thyroid test that you need to get, which is very, very frustrating. I've been there before. Hypothyroidism is grossly underdiagnosed. Sometimes it's not even diagnosed at all, and you have all the symptoms, but you're just not really having a thorough thyroid check. So you never really get that diagnosis of hypothyroidism or get told that your thyroid could be slow even without that diagnosis. Some of the really common symptoms with this, and I'm sure some of you know most of this already, but weight gain's a big one, severe fatigue, just exhausted. One thing that have been seeing more commonly is they start losing like the outer third of their eyebrows. That's when the thyroid's really far gone. And then anxiety, usually just cannot get yourself going, cannot wake up no matter what time of the day it is. Those are all pretty common. Thyroid lab work is really hard to read. It's really hard to understand. And so that's why I typically try to go over blood work with my clients, because I know it can be very difficult to understand and very difficult to read, which is exactly why I actually created a guide recently that I will have the link below so that you can get access to that. And it talks all about what markers you should have checked, why you should have them checked, what actually is normal, what the lab reference ranges mean, all that stuff. It's all laid out in the guide, so it makes it very, very easy. The big thing that I want to get across today is that TSH cannot be the only thing that is checked. If you are going to a doctor and you keep telling them you have all these symptoms and it is pretty much red flagging that it's thyroid and they only keep checking TSH, you have to demand other markers. And if they will not do it, then you have to get the markers done yourself. I can help with that. I can kind of guide you on where you can go for getting those other markers done. And if they still will not do anything for you, it's time to find a new doctor. I've been there. I talked about this before. I've gone through about 7 or 8 doctors because they wouldn't listen and I knew that there was something wrong. So you have to be an advocate and you have to find someone that's going to help you. TSH cannot be the only thing. Here's the reason why. TSH is really, it's called thyroid stimulating hormone. It's coming from your brain. So when you're getting your TSH checked, it's telling me how your pituitary gland is working. That's a little gland that is connected to your brain. It's part of your brain. It just tells me how that's working. It doesn't tell me at all how the thyroid's working. Could it give me some guidance? Absolutely. Is it going to be the end all be all? No, because there are so many other things that tell me, well, is the thyroid actually working? The TSH is just signaling from the brain that tells your thyroid release more hormone. So when the TSH number is really, really elevated, you're getting all this signal coming from your brain to tell your thyroid to make more thyroid hormone, release more thyroid hormone. When it's really, really bottomed out, it's doing the exact opposite. So when it's really high, you actually have slow thyroid, hypothyroidism, because there's not enough thyroid hormone. And when the TSH is really low, you have hyper, which is a fast thyroid, because there's way too much thyroid hormone. You don't need as much. It's trying to slow your body down. So it's kind of a safety mechanism that your body has, which is a great thing. But you can see that if I just check TSH, it tells me squat about the thyroid. It's only telling me what the actual brain is doing for the thyroid, that communication to the thyroid. I want to know what the thyroid's actually doing. So that's why I demand a full thyroid panel. You cannot just have TSH checked. It doesn't tell me enough. Have you ever had your TSH checked? Have you ever been told your TSH looks fine and they've never checked anything else? I bet I get a bunch of yeses because I've been there. It's very frustrating. You just keep being told your thyroid looks good and they only check TSH. So give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you've had this happen before, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you that have had this happen. So the problem with that, like I talked about, is when you're checking the TSH, tell me what the brain's doing. It's not really going any further. It's not telling me what your thyroid hormones are doing. So you have free T3 and you have free T4. Free T4 is inactive, free T3 is active. And you have to have a conversion over to make T3 because you don't make enough. You make about 80% T4, you make about 20% T3. Well, because T3 is the active one, you got to have some conversion over. So there's a lot of play there for why your thyroid could be slow. There's a lot of things that can make T4 go low. There's a lot of things that can make T3 go low. You could not be converting enough over. There's all kinds of things that could be happening that could be slowing the thyroid down, but you're never going to know it. If you only are looking at TSH, I'm only looking at what the brain's doing for the thyroid, but I'm not really looking at the actual thyroid or what the actual hormones are doing. It's not going to tell me enough. I've seen doctors that'll check TSH and they might even check T4. Better, but not enough. Again, I need to see what T3 is doing. What if you're not converting enough over and you don't have enough active T3? You don't have enough active hormone. Never had it checked. And I see this very commonly as well. The only time that I really say that you don't need a full thyroid panel, if you have no thyroid symptoms. If you have absolutely no thyroid symptoms, but you're just getting your annual checkup, a good blood panel, TSH, T4, those are really good things to have checked just to look at. But it's pretty rare that I would say you only need those checked if you have thyroid symptoms. If you are having these symptoms, you have to have a full thyroid panel. Only TSH does not tell me what the thyroid's doing. It does not mean your thyroid's normal if your TSH looks good too. Because I see this very commonly where TSH can look totally normal and their T3 and T4 are horrible. Or even just the T3 is absolutely horrible. Their active thyroid hormone is in the bottom, tanked out, but their TSH might look totally normal. I had this happen to me myself. So what happens? They tell you your thyroid panel looks good. You stay on the medication that you're on, or you don't even ever get put on medication, or they're not digging deeper as to why the heck is that slow? Why is that T3 low? Why are you having these thyroid symptoms if they didn't check T3? Why are you having these thyroid symptoms then? They're not there just because. They're there for a reason, because the thyroid's actually slow. So you have to find out what is doing it. Are there minerals involved? Is it something with your gut? Do you have metal overload? Is there a copper toxicity? Is it something that you're eating? There's so many factors that play into what your thyroid could be slowing down for. So you really have to dig deeper to why they're doing that and find out what all your markers are. So if you have any questions with this, definitely let me know, reach out. I have my link below. You can grab that guide. It's a really, really kind of in-depth but simple guide. It lays it all out simply for you. Kind of a lot of the things I talked about today, it's just laid out in a guide for you. So you can just print it off. You can have it on your computer, whatever you want. If you have any questions about how to get a full thyroid panel, reach out to me as well. I hope this information helps you. If you need anything else, go ahead and reach out. Let me know. If you could do me a big favor, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell so you get the notification. If you're watching this on Instagram or Facebook, like this and share this. That always helps me as well. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.